Greetings, geniuses. This video is going to cover another topic from the INFJ perspective, as usual. And also, as usual, I'm going to ask you another introspective question that we can both think about, and as always, I'm asking myself at the same time. And that question is, whom do you serve? Because INFJs are definitely paradoxes in many ways, in the way that we live life, see life, want life to be, and how we interact with others. And that's because we see pretty much both sides of the equation on lots of things. And one of those things is serving others, vice serving ourselves, or taking care of ourselves first. So I would not want to go into this conversation without saying that my goal is to serve God first and above everything else, others and myself. But I definitely fall very short, as we all do. And I am far from perfect, but I did not want to go into this conversation without saying that is one of my primary goals in life and the number one goal. But this topic that we're going to discuss is going to be from the worldly perspective, and I guess more a self-development perspective rather than a Christian perspective. So I'll just leave it at that. But whom do you serve? In your daily life, do you go about it differently on different days? Is this something that you struggle with? I know for myself, and I can only speak for myself, that I tend to very naturally want to help others, especially if somebody asks me for help. It can almost seem impossible to dismiss it or not put them into the immediate priority of my life unless they've done me wrong many times before or done something major that it's easy for me to dismiss them. If somebody is a friend or family member and they have a legitimate request for help and it's nothing that takes too much time, then yes, as an INFJ, I would say I have a difficult time not putting them as a priority. So how should we think about this subject? Because we can't serve others and ourselves at the same time. We can't help others' goals and our own. We have to pick and choose. And I would just say you have to have a proactive strategy already in place, because that's one of the things that I've learned that makes a big difference. And what I mean by that is I'm not necessarily good at laying out a schedule of what I'm going to do every day, and that's not really my style. Perhaps that's an INFJ thing in general, but what I do have in place now is that there's certain things that I want to do every day. And just a couple examples is to eat at certain times, have decent meals that are healthy, and to exercise every day if possible. And then usually I'll skip one day on the weekend. But there's a couple examples. Another thing is to practice music in some fashion. And there's more things that I could say that I don't need to go into all the details of my life. But I didn't always have that routine or that pre-planned schedule in mind. And like I said before, it can be just even a few minutes a day. But I have already preset those things as high priority in my life. I need to do those things. So if somebody asks me, hey, can you do this or that? Well, that's fine. But I already know that I need to filter it through my personal schedule, not just some calendar schedule like business important errands or something that are on my schedule, but I also make sure that I filter it through my personal priority schedule first before I say yes. And I might still help people most of the time if something comes up, but I'm making sure that I don't say yes too soon. And I think that is kind of the main thing I'm getting at or trying to get at in this video, is that not just INFJs, obviously, but I speak for myself to say that I have a tendency to say yes. And if you're that kind of person at all, then you know what I'm talking about. We want to have some kind of guards in place. That's the wrong term, but I can't think of the word right now. Checks and balances in place to prevent us from saying yes right away for a good reason, not just making up excuses like, I gotta walk my dog or whatever, but you know what I'm getting at. So that's why I said earlier that I think it comes down to being proactive, to already have some kind of mental schedule in place, and maybe schedule is the wrong word, but mental plan in place for your daily life, so that you're not a yes man and you're not just, okay, sure, anytime somebody asks for help. Because we can't do both simultaneously. And from the INFJ perspective, that can be sort of one of the greatest paradoxes of our own lives as far as pursuing goals, is that we're very creative and there's things that we want to accomplish, and we're very passionate about certain things and we know how to get it done, but we can be so easily distracted by other things that take us out of it, and we can focus on other people too much. And I know this isn't just an INFJ problem either, so this applies to a lot of people, and maybe more people and personalities than ever in this modern world with technology and social media and all the other distractions. So you can look at this through your own point of view and current perception of how you live your life and how you serve others. But for myself and maybe INFJs in general, like I said, we're very paradoxical about bouncing back and forth, but it's really a choice, especially in the moment. And so, like I said, have a plan in place. Even very generally, just come up with some sort of daily plan or schedule and write down those things, or just mentally remember what items are your top priority, that you will do these things every single day, and then just stick to it. And don't set the bar too high. Don't make it like 4 hours of writing this and 3 hours of practicing this, unless you really have that much free time and you can do that and you'll stick to it. But I think the best way to start for most people is with just a few minutes a day. So it could be 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, but make it realistic, because what will happen is once you stick with that small number of committed time, day after day, week after week, after a couple months, you're going to build a habit, and it's just going to take off, and you're going to get more excited about it. You're going to have more passion. You're going to see yourself succeeding in real time, and it really works. That's the magic. It seems so simple, but I think it's just something that will just drive you to work harder and to hit another sort of checkpoint that's even higher, but you gotta build it up over time. So I hope this video was helpful for you. It's one of those things that INFJs definitely deal with on a regular basis, is just taking care of themselves versus taking care of others, but there is definitely hope for the future, no matter who you are, and just have a plan in place and start improving your plan if you haven't thought of it that way before. So I'll look forward to bringing you another video and topic soon, and until next time, I'll see you soon, genius.